opportunity of meeting the 12th Imam alayhi salam. When Sayyid Muhammad Taqi got the news that Sayyid Amir Ishaq was in Isfahan, he made a point to visit him. And of course, what greater honor can a Shia mu'min of the time get than to be visited by Allama Majlisi, rahmatullah alayhi. So he entertains him. And Allama Majlisi says, I've come to learn from you. Can you believe those words? Who would? He says, I can't believe this. There is nothing you would learn from me. He says, yes, I want to learn Hirz Yamani from you. And he says, yes, that is one thing I know. And he says, well, and Sayyid Muhammad Taqi Majlisi says, I have come to know how you know. And this is why I have come to you. And he says, I will tell you. I had been to Makkah, and when we were leaving, I was so exhausted after Hajj, I could not keep pace with my caravan. I stayed with my caravan to the 7th station and decided, let them go, I can't keep pace with them. But then I made effort and I joined them till the 8th station. At the 8th station, I was gone. There was no way I could keep pace with them, so I stayed to rest. And as I rested, they went away. By the time I opened my eyes, I found they had gone. So I said to myself, but I know the way. This is the person who had done Hajj 40 times and is buried in Karbala. Well, you can imagine 40 times, and all these 40 Hajj were on foot. So he said, I knew the way. I was not a stranger. But when I set out, I found that I had lost the way. I lost my way. I was totally confused. I could not get to my path at all. And as I walked on, I became more exhausted, more hungry, more thirsty. Ultimately, I just collapsed. And when I collapsed, I thought those were my last moments. So I recited my tashahud. Having recited my tashahud, I said, why don't I call the 12th Imam alayhi salam? And the way he called him was, Ya Aba Saleh Adrikni. Beautiful words to remember, because who knows if we need those words. Ya Aba Saleh is the expression by which the Imam alayhi salam is called whenever he is needed in the course of a journey. When one is on a journey and needs help from the Imam alayhi salam, that is the way to call him. So he said, I kept shouting, Ya Aba Saleh Adrikni, Ya Aba Saleh Adrikni. And suddenly there came a youth on a horseback. He came and stopped and said, Haji Amir, why are you in this desperate state? You are not a person to lie on ground like this. You have done so many Hajj before. And he says, yes, but I am totally gone. I am so exhausted. So he takes out a bottle of water and gives him, says, Haji Amir, all you need is some water. And here is some water. Drink the water. He says, water I've been drinking all my life. But that water, as I drank it, I thought I was drinking Kawthar. I thought indeed it was the water of Kawthar, because it was water I had never drunk in this life. It was not only so pure, it was so sweet, it was so serene. And as I drank water, I told him this. I said, oh young man, where have you found this water? Show me where I can find this water. And he only smiled. He lifted me up. He said, well, do you want to get to your caravan first, or do you want food first? He says, no, I want to get to my caravan. This water, as you said, as you exactly said, has given me the energy I wanted. He had been told, all you need is this water. And that water was water that gave him the energy he needed. So the young man helps him get up and says, climb onto my horse, and I will reach you where you want to go. And indeed, he takes him to his caravan. But on the way, Haji Amir Ishaq Istribadi says to the Allama, on the way, I started reciting Hirz Yamani, because I always recite Hirz Yamani. This is what I was saying earlier on. These supplications have such inspirations that you cannot part with them. He says, I had not recited that morning, so I started reciting Hirz Yamani. And as I recited Hirz Yamani, the young man kept correcting me. He kept saying, no, Haji Amir, not this. This is the correct expression for the Hirz. Not this, you're making error here. The exact words are these. And as he corrected me, I remembered, I committed to memory all those corrections. And till today, the Hirz-e-Yamani that is in my mind now is exactly as taught by the 12th Imam alayhi salam. So Allama Majlis says, how did you know he was the 12th Imam alayhi salam? Except by inferences. He says the hallmark of meeting him is, the hallmark I experienced when I got there, he said, that's your caravan at the river bank. They are making wudu. Join them. And as I came down from the horseback, picked up my little bag and turned to him to thank him for all that he did, and particularly for that water. He was not there anymore. When he was not there anymore, I said to myself, it must be the Imam. But then I said to myself, how about that horse? The Imam disappearing like this? Yes. How about the horse? I will trace the footprints of that horse, and I will kiss at least those footprints of the horse of the Imam alayhi salam. I go there, not even the footprints are found. Not even the footprints are found. This is the way in which even the beasts on which these pure Imam alayhi salam climb behave. This is the spirit which they imbibe from the rider who rides on them. And we see this repeatedly in Karbala. We see this in Zuljana. We see this in so many of those beasts. And so those who lived with the Imam alayhi salam in Karbala began to realize what a fortunate stand it is to be able to be with the Imam even for those days, and to sacrifice their lives. Thus they learned that these are personalities. These are saints on whom sacrificing our lives is the minimum, not the maximum, but the minimum we can do in order to serve them. And they did this so beautifully on the day of Ashura. And I'm rushing into Masai because my time is up. I should be stopping now, but I've been moving on. And indeed, we started late. On that day of Ashura, when noon comes, Abu Tamama turns round to the Imam alayhi salam and says, Ya Abdullah ibn Rasulullah, I see this is the first time of Dhuhr. And the Imam alayhi salam looks at the sky and says, Abu Tamama, truly that is so. Tell me, would we have thought of prayer time for Dhuhr prayer time on the day of Ashura when the battle was at its zenith? And yet, those who come so close to the Imam alayhi salam, may I put it this way, that those whom the Imams alayhi salam draw close to them are people who have that degree of regard for Salah, that degree of particularity, that the Salah should be recited at its first time, because what is more important in the world than remembrance of Allah, the glorified and exalted? The Imam alayhi salam looks at the sky and says, Abu Tamama, may Allah reward you for this, for remembering Salah at this time. Zakartuka Salah, ja'alaka Allahu min al-musallin. May Allah, what a prayer from the Imam, may Allah include you amongst those who prayed. And immediately the Imam alayhi salam says, ask them to stop the war. And indeed, it is Habib ibn Madahir who goes out and tells them that stop the war because we want to say our prayers. And indeed, Habib is told words that Abu Tamama is told words that he could not. It was Abu Tamama who went to make that request. He could not swallow those words. He turns to the Imam because the words given were that you can pray, you can tell your Imam that you can pray for as long as you like. His prayers are not accepted by Allah. So Abu Tamama says what? The prayers of the grandson of the Prophet are not accepted by Allah, and you, the son, the illegitimate son of your illegitimate mother, and that was exactly the position of the person who uttered those words. Your salah would be accepted. Turns to the Imam alayhi salam and says, Ya ibn Rasulullah, I did think of salah. I cannot bear these words. Let me go and fight him. Abu Tamama goes out, fights this person, kills him, but he is surrounded. Abu Tamama is surrounded, and ultimately this person who remembered Allah in this way in the salah is martyred on the plain of Karbala. But salah goes on. That salatul khawf, how is the salah to take place? The Imam alayhi salam leads the prayer. Sa'id stands on his right. Sa'id bin Abdullah stands in his right, and Zuhair ibn bin Khayn stands to the left of the Imam alayhi salam. The Imam leads the prayers. But you see, but what a scenario! The arrows still are being thrown at the Imam. Now he is a sitting duck, so all the arrows are targeted at the Imam alayhi salam. As an arrow comes, Sa'id moves and takes it so that it doesn't reach the Imam. On the other side, Zuhair turns and takes the arrows so that it doesn't reach the Imam. When the Imam finishes, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, there is not one arrow on the body of the Imam alayhi salam. And yet, Sa'id was so full of arrows, he collapses saying, Yabna Rasulullah, Assalamu alaikum. My last salam to you. Sa'id collapses and is martyred. Zuhair immediately goes out. He says, Ya Rasulullah, I have some life in me left despite all these arrows. I want to go and fight them. The Imam alayhi salam says, Zuhair, please yourself. You have been fighting and speaking since morning. Because Zuhair was an orator. Zuhair goes out. He too goes and fights. But indeed, he kills at least 38 people. But after that battle that he wins, he too is slain. Imam alayhi salam goes to the body of Sa'id and says, Sa'id, how can I congratulate you for this death that you have got, making sure that the salah of the remaining people is attained. May Allah keep you amongst Musallin. And then goes to meet Zuhair. Zuhair is in his last breath. And the Imam alayhi salam says, Zuhair, any wasiyah? And Zuhair says, only that I be accepted amongst those who gave their lives in your service. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون رحم الله من يكرم